Hello, my name is Ken.
Ken, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes. Long walks on the beach, and no. I'm the host and writer, actor, editor, producer, everything for Chad, a Fallout 76 story. It's a podcast that is a dark humor storytelling podcast that takes place in the Fallout 76 world.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What I like to do with all of our guests is we just get into some quick, rapid-fire questions just to get a feel.
Ooh, we're on the 20 question games again?
It's a little more than 20 this time, but yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
So I'm just going to go through. You could take as much time or as little time, and if you want to skip, you can just say next. We'll just run right through them.
All right.
What's your name?
Ken.
How old are you?
39.
Favorite Fallout and why?
Ooh. New Vegas, slightly more than Fallout 3. Fallout 3 was my first entry into the series. But New Vegas, the storyline and Robert House and that whole area, I love the atmosphere.
Okay. Lemonade or iced tea?
Lemonade.
What's your middle initial?
N.
What's your favorite cereal?
Frosted Mini Wheats.
Top 5 albums of all time?
Ooh. Beatles White Album.
Okay.
Lordy. As far as albums, that's actually, there are individual songs I like.
Mm-hmm.
God.
You don't have an album that you could just throw on and just listen to the whole thing?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, fair.
The Beatles, the White Album is pretty much the only one that I could listen to all the way through, but I end up cherry picking songs from a bunch of different albums.
Well, okay, then follow-up question for that one. What's your how do I want to say this? What's the number one way you consume music?
iTunes now. It used to be making my own CDs back in the day. And then before that, cassette tapes.
Cool. Cool. Do you still write in cursive?
I do not. I'm trying to think of the last time I even did that. I think it was wedding invitations.
I still sign my
we all
name in
learned
cursive,
it. Yeah,
but-
that's it.
Yeah.
It was the most useless thing we ever learned.
Yeah.
Your favorite color?
Blue.
Your top 5 movies of all time?
Ooh. Fifth Element.
Okay.
Ooh, good one.
House on Haunted Hill. Scrooge with Albert Finney.
Okay.
2 more. I would say the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy, but
Hell yeah.
let's
I'll
pick-
give you that one.
yes,
I'll give you
yeah.
that one. It's
Yeah.
one big movie. It's like
Yeah.
Kill Bill. Both
It
of them
is.
are one movie. Yeah.
Yeah, and Kill Bill actually.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool.
What's your favorite power armor?
Ooh. T-51. B.
Cool. Your shoe size?
10.5.
Autobots or Decepticons?
Autobots.
What's your favorite word?
Yesterday.
What's your least favorite word?
Moist.
Okay.
See, that would have been a great time to say next. Because it's both an answer and a skip.
That's a very good point.
Why or where or what do you want to see change?
In the world?
Anywhere. It could be anything. What do you want to see change?
Lack of empathy.
It's a good one.
Okay. Why don't they ever want to talk about it?
Empathy? Or just
Why don't they ever want to talk about it in general?
Just it. Yeah.
self-interest? Ego?
What's your favorite vault?
101. All day.
What did your grandmother's house smell like?
Bacon, pine, and honey.
That sounds
smells
delightful.
warm.
She, there's a story that goes along with that.
You want to tell it? You don't have to if you don't want to.
It's a short one. I spent summers with her up on this island off the coast of New Brunswick, Canada. The house had electricity and everything, but that was pretty much it. We only got TV in the evenings.
Oh, wow.
So it was heated with a wood stove. She would make bacon in the morning, so I'd wake up. I could hear the foghorn off the beach and just the smell in the house. It was a great way to spend the summer. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds delightful.
Yeah.
Is it really humid? Would it be
Not
really humid?
there?
Yeah.
Not there, no. It was cold, even during the summer.
Cool. Are synths people?
Yes.
Voice protagonist, bad idea or worst idea ever?
Worst idea ever.
Thank you. Oh my god, thank you.
Introducing
what's your
RPG, scripted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, what's your earliest memory?
My great-grandfather dying.
Oh wow. Do you remember how old you were?
3.
Wow. Favorite book and or top 10 books or top 5 books?
The Illustrated Man by Ray Bradbury. Ooh, top 10 books. That's going to be hard to come up with a list off the top of my head. The Illustrated Man, definitely that. Anything by Ray Bradbury. Stephen King's It is definitely one of my top favorite reads. Anything by Bill Bryson, who's just a hilarious writer. Any of his travel books are just the most amazing travel book reading you could possibly imagine. What else? John Bellairs, Edward Gorey, which technically isn't books, but I love his drawing style.
Hey,
Cool.
graphic novels are books.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
I got away with reading a lot of graphic novels in school. What's my next one on here? What simple joy makes you the most happy?
Barefoot in the Grass.
That's satisfying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just reading a book, Barefoot in the Grass, yeah.
What kind of build do you play in 76?
Right now I'm playing melee build, which is the first time I've ever done that. In previous Fallout games, you could actually be a master of all and then just kind of be everything. It was kind of a learning curve playing this game because you can't do that. You have to specialize. But the melee build that I'm doing now is slightly bloodied. So it's really... playing melee is the first time I've ever played that way in a Fallout game. I never had an interest before.
Really?
So it's been... it's kind of fun to kind of get in there and smash things around.
Why don't you think you ever had the interest to try it?
I love explosive weapons. I
Really?
really do, yeah. As the soonest that I could get my hands on a Fat Man is in every version of the game, that's immediately what I would go for.
Oh, cool.
I just love explosions. Which probably says something about my character, but
Are melee weapons still like super overpowered?
they are, depending on your build.
Okay.
With the right armor, buffs, chems, and even a 3-star bloodied weapon, you can be ridiculously overpowered. But you're essentially a glass cannon. I die a lot.
That kind
I
of
remember
sucks.
when it first came out, our buddy Kyle wanted to play it like a medical Healy man, and he wound up becoming the tank because he was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna stab things." When it first came out. What's your favorite Fallout songs? So like the stuff on the radio.
Ooh, that's a good question.
It's any of them. I didn't want to put a number on it because all of New Vegas' soundtrack is awesome. All of 3's is,
slaps,
4's is
yeah.
all right. You know what I mean? So
Johnny
all straight
Guitar.
hitters. Okay.
Out of
Okay.
yeah. I know. But the landscape of New Vegas, a lot of people complained it was empty, the people that maybe don't like that game. But the desolation of it and the mournful sound of that song paired so perfectly with the landscape in a really unique way. I guess a good second choice would have to be Big Iron. That's such a fun, romping song.
I love Big Iron.
Yeah.
What do you edit and record with?
Adobe Audition.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Where do you find inspiration?
For the show?
For just anything, be it writing, be it the show, anything.
A lot of different sources. I own a marketing firm, so I do a lot of creative. And there are things that I find inspiration from to create from things that I hear or see or concepts. And a lot of it just kind of goes into this filing cabinet in the back of my head. And I can sometimes find ways to adapt it or make use of it at some point.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
I really enjoy listening to your content, mostly because I really like your voice. It's a very good podcasting voice. Has anyone ever told you that you have a radio voice?
Yes. The very first podcast who ever had me on was the Vault Boys, West Virginia, which they're now doing a different show, the Cryptid Cast. And that was the very first feedback that he had for me when he'd listened to the show.
Yeah,
That was
like your
back
voice
in,
is just
episode
delightful
2.
to listen to.
Thank you.
It's very calming, yeah. I find that my favorite parts of the episodes are Simon parts.
Which is ironic because when I first started, my concern is that me just telling the original journal stories, which I'd started out writing just as kind of a goof and shared in Fallout Facebook groups, and people just really loved them and kept resharing them and got a ridiculous amount of reshares and likes. People started suggesting them as a podcast, which I'd never thought of doing or have done before. So I figured I'd give it a go. My greatest concern is that over time, just me narrating would get very static and stale. So I really wanted to build out the world that he was describing with voice actors, which now we've been really blessed to get some really great people to do.